Suspended Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnie Teves is now facing a murder complaint over the killing of Governor Roel Degamo. Despite this development, it is still a no-show for the embattled congressman who, according to Justice Secretary Boying Remulla, was supposed to come home today. The House Ethics Committee saying a stiffer penalty may be imposed against the lawmaker for his continued absence at the House of Representatives. Good evening. I'm Pia Hontiveros. Welcome to your weekly political appointment fix politics as usual. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla is urging suspended Negros Oriental Representative Arnie Teves to come home and face the criminal complaints filed against him. Remulla says flight is an indication of guilt. Our guests tonight in this first segment of the show, Congressman Arnie Teves and his lawyer Ferdinand Topacio, Attorney Topacio, joining us via Zoom. Good evening to you, Congressman Teves and Attorney Topacio.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Okay. Umpisahan po natin, Congressman Teves, dito, no? Did you have a ticket for a flight home this morning? Was there a ticket? Did you purchase? Did you buy one?
Ganito na lang, para madali. Fake news yun.
So, fake news, wala talaga kayong ticket?
Madali yung kwento.
Oo. No, kasi, so, fake news yung uuwi kayo, pero at fake news din yung sinasabi ni Boying Remulla na ticketed na raw kayo, na meron kayong ticket. Hindi totoo yon.
Wala akong alam na ticket. Baka siya may alam. Baka siya bumili.
Baka siya bumili para sa iyo. O pag ganyan, dapat na email sa inyo para magamit, no?
Ha?
Never mind. Yeah. Anyway, Cong Teves, did you apply? You applied for political asylum in Timor-Leste. Is that correct, sir? And how did you go about that?
I refuse to comment on that, ma'am.
Okay. But, well, the news that came out, which the Department of Foreign Affairs issued a statement about, was that there was an application for political asylum at Timor-Leste, and that the country denied that application of yours, supposedly. I wanted to ask you, and I wonder if you're going to answer this question, if you are going to apply for political asylum in elsewhere or in any other country.
Si Boying na lang tanungin natin. Siya naman yung parating maraming alam eh.
So parang, baka spokesman na po ninyo si Boying Remulla. Ganun po ba?
Come again?
Baka spokesman na ninyo si Boying.
Siya yung alam eh. Diba?
Okay. But anyway.
Hindi, parang. Siya yung maraming...
Okay. But you're not denying that you...
Pag-usapan na lang natin yung pagkuliko.
Pero wait, Cong Teves, you are not denying that you applied for political asylum. All you're saying is you will not comment about it, right? Hindi nyo po dinideny. So I wanted to ask your lawyer...
No.
Yeah.
Sorry. I neither deny nor confirm.
Okay. NCND, neither confirm nor deny. Attorney Topacio, can we talk about that? Would you have suggested, or would you have come up with an idea for your client to get political asylum in another country?
Well, I will not come up with that idea, but of course, my client is a very intelligent person. He's a congressman, so I would leave it to his discretion. Pero, alam niyo po, I would not blame him if he applied for political asylum anywhere, because it's very clear from the actuations of the present Secretary of Justice that this is no longer a persecution. This is no longer a prosecution, but a persecution. Yung lately na lang, may lumitaw na witness. There was a witness who came out pointing to another mastermind. And yet, that testimony was summarily dismissed by the Secretary of Justice, saying it's not credible, even without talking to the witness. And now, the recantations of those who were illegally arrested in connection with the Degamo murder, he's saying that it was a Teves camp who supplied them with lawyers para bang wala ng karapatan ng isang tao na magkaroon ng abogado of his own choice, when that is a constitutional right. So, well, hindi ko po masisisi ang aking kliyente kung magkakaroon siya ng idea na magkaroon ng political asylum, napagkat talagang tinutulig sana po, this goes beyond the normal bounds of a criminal investigation. Talagang persecution na po ito, panggigipit na to, it has outrun the bounds of reason to result in sheer oppression.
So if, Attorney Topacio, you say that this is a persecution and no longer a prosecution, and you say that you would not take it against your client if he thinks of political asylum as an avenue to get justice, would you also tell him na okay lang, wag ka nang umuwi muna, or dyan ka na muna, wag ka na lang umuwi, don't bother to come home kung ganun din lang? Would that be your advice to your client?
Alam niyo po, Ma'am Pia, ang Korte Suprema na natin na nagsabi that self-preservation is the primordial law. Alam niyo po, lagi po namin inuulit, ang dahilan po, the reason why my client cannot come home is because of grave and credible threats to his life and security, and that of his family. So, that being the case, I would not advise him to do anything that would endanger his life and that of his family. I would be remiss in my duties as his lawyer if I would put him in a position where he would be endangered.
So, Congressman Teves, it looks like you took your... sandali po. So, it looks like you took your lawyer's advice because like he said, self-preservation, no? So, talagang ayaw nyo po talagang umuwi at hindi nyo pwedeng ipagkatiwala ang inyong safety at security sa police o sundalo man or anyone who will try and secure you if or when you get home to the airport. Ganun po ba?
Ako na ba? Is it me?
Yes.
My turn? Okay, ganito. Ito yung idadagdag ko sa sinabi ni Attorney Ferdy. Bakit ang tagal ng sinasabi ni Bonjing, ni Boying na dapat akong umuwi to face the charges since 2 months ago. Wala pang charges yun, pinapauwi niya na ako. Bakit parang gustong-gusto nila yung katawan ko? Hindi ko na rin maintindihan eh. Mas lalo akong kinabahan yung gugustuhin nila yung katawan ko. They wanted me to go home ever since. Hindi nga ako pinapauwi ng nanay at tatay ko, sila pa. Sino kayo magpapauwi sa akin? Wala akong kaso. Sabay sasabi nila, flight is synonymous to guilt. Guilt of what? Anong flight? Hindi naman ako umalis ng Pilipinas na umalis ako ng Pilipinas para magpa-doktor, magpa-stem cell sa Amerika. Hindi lang ako umuwi dahil may banta sa buhay ko. At hindi ko maintindihan why they are so hell-bent on getting my body to the Philippines to face charges when I had no charges. Dapat napansin ng lahat yun.
Tama. Well, and even
so
today, and like you said, no, they seem so hell-bent on getting you home. Pero today, nagsampa halimbawa ng kasong murder. So even if may kaso na sa korte, you still would not want to come home. You don't feel safe? Ganun po ba? You will not...
of course, I don't feel safe.
You will not...
I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe.
Yes, Attorney Topacio.
And I'd like to correct you. I was never advised by my lawyer not to go home.
Okay.
Ma'am Pia, I would like to disabuse the minds of the Filipino people that there is a case in court. Wala po. Yung sinampa po kaninang umaga ay sinampa sa DOJ. Parang po yun parang nagsampa si Secretary Remulla ng kaso sa sarili niya. Because that is not yet a case in court. That is a case, that is a criminal complaint that will still be subjected to preliminary investigation. So, as of now, at more than 2 months after the Degamo murder, when noong March 31, sinabi na ni Secretary Remulla, 99.9% solved na daw. Yung April 4, sabi niya, tapos na ang boxing. Ano na ang pecha po ngayon? 70 na. Ngayon lang po sila magsasampa at hindi po sa korte po yan, Hindi po sa korte yan. Yan ay sa DOJ po lang. Therefore, the principle that flight is an indication of guilt
does not yet apply.
Hindi po nag-a-apply because accusation is not synonymous with guilt. That is the principle that has always been applied by our highest court. So,
Right.
yung sinasabi niyang fugitive from justice, puro BS po yun. Pardon the French.
Buti na lang hindi niyo sinabi yung buong word. But anyway, okay, tama. Yes, wala pa naman talaga wala pa sa korte. Dadaan pa yan sa isang preliminary investigation. So my question before we go to a break, Attorney Topacio and Kong Teves, Kong Arnie, itong preliminary investigation na mangyayari eventually, haharap po ba kayo doon or hindi na? Given the circumstances and given how you feel about your safety?
Kawawa naman yung pamilya ko kung ipapatay ko yung sarili ko para lang sa kanilang kasikatan.
Okay.
Ganito kasi yan eh. Alam ko na yung set play. Kung napatay ako, sabihin nila case closed. Di sikat na sikat sila. Di ba? Case closed, patay na yung mastermind. Paano ako naging mastermind? Wala bang investigasyon, mastermind na yung tao? Anong klaseng kangaroo court yan?
Okay. Alright. Sige, we need to take a very quick break. Kong Arnie and Attorney Ferdy, we need to take a very quick break. We're going to be back for the next segment. For the first half of that segment, I'll talk to the two of you first, and then I'll be speaking to Mayor Janice in a bit. Magbabalik po. We're coming back here on Politics as Usual. Be right back. Welcome back. This is Politics as Usual. Our next guest, and then we'll have Congressman Arnie Teves and Attorney Ferdy Topacio back on the show a little bit later. Our next guest is the widow of slain Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo. Let's speak with the mayor of the town of Pamplona, Mayor Janice Degamo. Mayor Janice, magandang gabi po sa inyo. The House Ethics Committee rejected your petition to have Arnie Teves expelled beyond the May 22 date because May 22 yun ang the end of his 2-month suspension. How do you feel about that? Na they're saying hindi pwedeng expulsion, hindi sworn statement yung naisubmite ninyo sa kanila sa House Ethics Committee.
Well, if we can, good evening po pala sa inyo, ma'am, and to all listening to you and watching you right now. We are also exploring other avenues so we could get the expulsion, which is really our desire. Iko-consult ko rin sa lawyer natin if we will have it parang notarized ba po yung sinasabi ninyo about the affidavit po. And kasi hindi rin ako lawyer, kung ano pang pwedeng gawin doon at mag-explore ba kami ng ibang avenue to get the expulsion, then that is what we really desire.
Just today, nag-file ang NBI ng reklamo sa Department of Justice. Of course, like we were saying earlier, hindi naman pa rin ito yung kaso, yung trial na sinasabi. This will still go through a preliminary investigation. Kanina nakausap ko na si Kong Arnie and si Attorney Ferdy, and they were both saying, especially Congressman Arnie, na wala siyang tiwala. He does not believe that he will be safe and secure if or when he comes home, and he would rather not come home. What do you think of that?
I think he is paranoid, ma'am. Paranoid because ang dami niyang pinapatay. Pinapatay niya hindi lang si Governor and the 10 others. There are others that when the Governor was still alive have become victims of Congressman Arnie Teves. Kaya I can sense na yung kaniyang paranoia, yun yung prevented him from facing the charges that is being filed against him. Kaya tingin ko hindi naman totoo na may threat siya eh. Ang totoo niyan talagang napaparanoid siya. Kasi yung mga pag ano yung ginawa natin, babalik din kasi sa atin yan. Kaya baka yun yung fear niya.
Mayor Janice, are you still confident?
The President made that assurance The President made that assurance that there is no intel report of him being endangered. So, of him having threats. So, tingin ko talaga it's more of a paranoia than the real threat.
Mayor Janice, are you still confident about the case? There are reports about suspects who choose to stand down. Medyo nag-iba na yung mga statement nila. May kumpiyansa pa rin po ba kayo sa reklamo?
Actually, I was walked through by our private lawyers also na nagha-handle parang may linagay kami na private counterpart ng ating mga government prosecutors. And we knocked through nila ako that criminal cases sometimes will go through a phase na yung parang may parang babawi dun sa kanilang statement. But I think as to what we knew of the evidence on hand by the people building up the case, parang confident pa rin kami, ma'am, na we will manage to get the justice for the governor along with the 10 others. So, naiintindihan ko kahit nung hindi nangyayari, pinapaalam na yan sa akin ng aming private lawyers na this might happen or this could really happen. So, may idea na rin ako kahit papaano. But as to whether or not we will get the justice, di ba, it took very long for DOJ to prepare. At ngayon, yung dumating na talaga yung araw na ito, I would like to believe na talagang we have a solid case. Na talagang pinaghandaan din talaga ito. Kasi this is something na talagang dapat siniseryoso. Because the threat is not just for Negros Oriental, but the entire country. Pag nagkamali sila dito, tingin ko talaga hindi lang Negros Oriental ang pag-uusapan natin. Yung terror that these people will bring in Negros Oriental as well as the rest of the country.
Mayor,
nakakatakot yun.
Oh, Mayor, I was about to ask you if you are 100% convinced about how solid this case is, and you already answered that question. You really believe in the case. I just wanted to ask you one more last question before we go into final words with the three of you. This certain Kitty Torres talking about describing the politics, the local politics, because all politics is local anyway, in Negros Oriental, and she was describing both the Teves and the Degamo clans as both warlords. Is your family a warlord family also?
Actually, ma'am, why will we reach the Senate? Why will I write 2 times when the governor was still alive and after his death? If warlords kami, magbarilan na lang kami dito. I went to the Senate halls because our manner of doing our work as public servants have always been along the line of duty. Meaning to say, ang trabaho ng police mag-secure sa amin habang kami public service.
Okay. All right.
The other way around.
Okay.
We are not warlords because we do not have illegals. We are not igalista. We do not have online sabong. We do not have STL, we do not have illegal drugs, we do not wala kaming sa mga terror na ganyan. We are just simple public servants.
Hindi po kayo illegalista, pero mayaman pa rin po kayo. Very powerful political family, that is how you...
Ma'am, my husband's family is family of fishermen. They're from rags to riches po. Hindi yan one night, overnight na na-acquire yung wealth na yan. Kaya nga, we are open ourselves to all forms of investigation because we can explain what we have.
Okay. We have 4 minutes to go before the end of the show, so I'm going back first to Congressman Arnie Teves and Attorney Ferdy Topacio, who are joining us via Zoom. And I wanted to ask, just for your final words na po, Kong Arnie and Attorney Ferdy. Attorney Ferdy, kayo po muna.
Yes, alam nyo, listening to Mayor Degamo, puro katarantaduhan yung pinagsasabi niya. Anong pinagsasabi niya? Maraming pinatay. May pruweba ka, girl. Demanda mo. Puro daldali. Kaya lang ikaw mayabang dahil you have the ear of the secretary, nagpa-party-party ka rin sa Malacanang, kaya malakas ang loob mo Pero wala kang pruweba. Sige, demanda mo. Nasaan yung maraming pinapatay? Sige, I dare you. You file the case. Alam mo, yung accusation is not synonymous with guilt. Madaling mag-accuse. Kahit kami, pwedeng mag-accuse kami ng mga ganito sa'yo, ayaw ko nilang gawin. Pero, alam mo, talk is cheap. At gawin mo. Padala mo yung abogado ko sa DOJ, mag-file siya ng sinasabi mong pinapatay ni Congressman Arnie Teves. At you go through the process. Malakas ka ng loob mo kasi kampi sa'yo yung Secretary of Justice. Kinakausap ka, alam mo. Kung yung ginagawa mo sa Secretary of Justice, ginawa mo sa huwes, inhibit yung huwes So, huwag kang ganyan. If you have proof, you present it sa DOJ, you go to court, and then doon po tayo mag-usap sa korte. Pero yung puro daldal, manang-mana ka doon sa secretary mo sige, go ahead.
Okay.
Make our day.
Okay, Attorney Ferdy, thank you. Kong Arnie, I wanted to ask you, no, because you're saying, na, and you have repeated this many times before, na wala kayong kinalaman. You have said that you had nothing to do with this killing. If it's not you, sino yung mastermind then? Who do you know who? I mean, knowing your family as, having been for a very long time in Negros Oriental politics. Yes.
Hindi ako si Boying Remulla na magbibigay lang ng suspect na walang investigasyon. 'Di ba? Imbestigahan mo na. Hindi ako nag-iimbestiga eh. Mag-imbestiga sila. Sabi nga ni Attorney Salpanelo, lahat ng anggulo tingnan nyo bago kayo magturo. Nauna na sila nagturo eh. Nagsulat na sila ng script. At ang mensahe ko kay Butanding, huwag siya magsatsat ng ganyan. Kung sabi mong marami akong pinatay, magkaso ka. Para ka namang santo dyan. Alam ng lahat yung gawain mo. Hindi nga lang ako nagsasalita eh. Then alam ko, malalaman din ng taong bayan sino yung makatotohanan, sino yung hindi. Kung hindi ako bahal na tao, hindi magpapapicture tao ko sa akin. Di ba?
Alright.
Puro satsat yan si Butanding. Kala mo naman, maganda. Pangit-pangit naman. Sama pa ng
Wait a minute.
itsura.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Ay, naku.
Okay, Kong Arnie, wait. Let's not let's not get personal in that way. But we get your point. We get your point. What you're saying.
Siya eh.
Yes.
Gusto niyo personalan, di personalan, walang ganyan. Di ba? I was never personal. I had always been professional. Why will you say a person killed so many people when you have no proof?
Well,
Prove
yeah,
what
what your lawyer was saying earlier.
Sa akin
file the
naman, when
case
I
in
say
court.
pangit siya, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I see her as ugly. Then she's ugly.
All right.
Diba? To my eyes.
Okay.
I don't need to prove it.
O,
But
sige.
when you say I killed so many people, you prove it. You prove it. Prove it, please.
All right.
Don't say things that you cannot prove.
Okay,
I never say things that I cannot prove.
All right, I have 30 seconds to go. And I suppose that is already your final
Thank
words.
you.
That was
I
a
gotta
mouthful
go.
already. Thank you so much to Kong Arnie Teves and to Attorney Ferdy Topacio. Maraming salamat po sa inyo for joining us via Zoom. So we have 20 seconds for Mayor Janice Degamo for final words na lang po. I'm sure you want to react to what they said.
Yes, I would like to react to what Attorney Topacio was saying. Totoo po, cases will be filed. Kaya nga po pinaghirapan talaga namin kahit it will be an extra mile of work that we have to work on. But definitely, cases will be filed. In fact, yung Alabata case, magsisimula na po, na-rectify na yung mga pangalan na kailangang palitan doon dahil sa extreme cover-up that they did. And the others will follow. There are 20 cases, I think, and the folder is already with the DOJ. We are asking help from prosecutors to come up with the case. Kasi yung iba, meron talaga tayong mga testigo. Kaya, Attorney Topacio, don't be sad. Definitely, there will be cases that will be filed. More than the cases that you will be facing with what happened to the governor. Meron pong maraming kaso na ipa-file kami. And speaking of, palagi nilang inaano na nagpapasiksik kami doon kay Secretary Remulla. No, these are professional people. Kaya tumitingin yan sila kung anong mga hawak nila. They will not say something na hindi nila kayang patunayan. And I do the same thing. Lahat ng pumunta sa Senado at tinuturo sila kayang patunayan ng mga taong yun. Kasi ma'am, hindi mo makukuha ang justice if you point to the wrong person. Kaya alam ko and I'm confident that the cases we will be filing against Congressman Teves perhaps will really make him not come home at all.
All right. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Mayor Janice Degamo, thank you for joining us earlier via Zoom and then by phone. I understand the communication line is not very good tonight. Thank you very much for joining us, ma'am. We've been told before, don't talk politics at the dinner table or the family reunion or in Viber groups and risk warfare, digital or otherwise. But we can talk about it here at this table on this show, your weekly political appointment fix, politics as usual. I'm Pia Hontiveros. See you back here next Wednesday, 8 p.m.